this is Victor and here with a new Warahammer Underworlds unboxing. This is the last warband I'm going to do the unboxing for this saga. This is the last one launched by Games Workshop together with the Profiteers. So these are the Ylthari's Guardians, so these are the Sylvanet warband, and now we are going to open and look what is inside. I already take this out, so you have, of course, these are the instructions how to assemble them. So let's make a look what is inside. Okay, I already removed the sleeve to make it easier to show. So they are coming on this military green, I will say. We have, as usual, two sprues where we have all the parts to do the warband. So this is a 4 guys warband. Interesting that one of them have an axe. Being trees is quite, I would say, ironic. So this is the nice parts. You can see that we have also decorated bases. They are fully detailed, and I will show you later on. I will assemble them and show you better on. But you can see that you have to be quite careful because there are quite some fragile parts. Of course, these are all. This is a bowman. We have an axeman or axe tree, bow tree. And this looks like the magician one. So let's make a look. I will assemble them. I'll show you later on how they look like. Let's make a look to the cars. Okay, so first I will show you how these are the cars for the Ylthari's Guardians. Okay, these are the specific ones for these factions, and there is here this card that is like, I never read this one, but I guess it's like a bit of fluff. And we have here first the different the cars of the characters. They have this guy have. Go first to the leader. This is the leader, but at the same time is a magic of level 2. He has 2 attacks. One is a magic attack and the other one is a normal attack. You can inspire them if you heal them. Okay, if you just use any healing on them, even if they don't recover, if you just use some ability or a spell that can heal them, then they will be inspired. So when he's inspired, well, he's quite have as well with damage 2. Okay, and the spell is only damage 1. It's moving 4. All of them are moving 4. They have dodge on different levels. These have 2 dice. This one have a shield. So they have a combination, but all of them are moving 4 when they are not inspired. And this guy have only 3 lives. And this is the boss. So it's interesting that the boss is not the strongest one. Okay, when he's inspired, it's not winning life neither. It's winning movement and it's winning a stronger spell. It's not even winning on the attack, and it's not winning on. It's not winning that much. It's winning also reaction after this fighter successfully casts a spell with at least 1 critic. In the casting roll, remove up to 1 wound from. Okay, so if he's casting, he's healing himself. So I don't know if this ability is also when he's not reaction. Yeah, so he can inspire himself just if he's lucky casting a spell with a crit. Okay, he has 2 dice always. So really, not that much. So the only thing that gives him to be inspired is making the spell stronger and adding movement. This is the then we go to this one. This is Lane Revenant Archer. So this is the archer. I don't know if it's a he or she. He has worse dodging. He has a 3 range attack. He's also inspiring when he's healing. And after this fighter attack action takes an enemy fighter out of action, make another attack action with this fighter. You can only make this reaction once per round. So quite interesting ability. I think it's the first time we see someone being able to shoot or to use his ability 2 times as a reaction, as well when he or she is inspired. And he's not winning movement like his boss. Okay, when it's inspired, he's just winning dodge and range 4. So it's the first time we see range 4 on a warrior. Okay, they are quite fragile, so all in all. Okay, so they have dodge and they only have 3 lives, these 2 guys. Then we go to this guy here, and I don't think this is the one with the axe. Yeah, this is the one with the axe. Okay, let's put them apart and then looks at this guy. He has also movement 4, but he's the one with more life, 4 lives, and a shield as a defense, and also is strong. So this is really the close combat guy with range 2. So this is the strongest guy in your warband, and also have a reaction. So after an attack action, if there was a crit in the defense roll for this fighter, the attacker suffers 1 damage. So if he have a crit defending, he will do a damage to the opponent, not a healing ability. And then he has Whirling Glaive, targets all adjacent enemy fighters, roll for it. So he can do the Protector Glaive and the Whirling Glaive. He has no back 1 and not any other ability. And I'm just checking if I have this one. Yeah, if it's healing, you can inspire him. When he's inspired, it's not winning that much neither, so it's just winning this extra attack. This is exactly the same, but with no back, no. And then it's 4-2-4 as used to be before. So these guys are not, you don't need to rush to inspire them. They are not that different between inspired and non-inspired. Quite similar to what we see on the Stormcast Eternal sometimes. Okay, this is the last guy on the warband. I like a lot the art on this one. I like a lot how the art they put on these cards. He has movement 4 and is not winning movement, and is not winning life, is not winning defense. What he's winning when he's inspired is winning a little bit more to be very precise in attack with 3 hammers. It's all what he is winning. And then he also has a reaction. After this fighter attacks action with range 1 or 2 in which there was at least 1 crit in the attack roll and the target survive, the target suffers 1 damage. So if you don't kill this guy with 2 damage, he's going to be 3 damage if you do a critic. Okay? So if the enemy target survive, because you only have done 2 damage to him, you are going to do an additional damage. So these are the 4 guys. Okay, start to be quite upset with this glare. Okay, let's go to some of these are the specific cards for the warband. So for example, we have the Breathing Roots. The first fighter to make a move action in the situation has -2 move. So this is quite a strong one. So you are locking enemy. So we have some gambits, so some spells. Let's call this gambit spell is called. So we have gambits here with poison spells. Choose a friendly Galangan. So I need to see who is Galangan. Is the one with the axe, or a friendly fighter adjacent to a friendly Galangan, and roll a defense dice. On a shield or a crit, remove up to 2 wounds tokens from that fighter's card. Otherwise, remove up to 1. So this is a healing potion. Okay, so we need to check here. I guess they will have some spell. This spell can cast. Choose an enemy fighter within 5x. This is making damage. Okay, so we need to look for. I guess they will need the. Some healing, and because they don't have too much life, so you will need to be careful with them and try to give life back to them. Choose a friendly fighter that does not have a guard token. Place a guard token next to them. Okay. Choose an enemy fighter adjacent to a friendly fighter and choose 1. Remove the enemy fighter's guard tokens or place a move token on the enemy fighter. Not very interesting. So we have the Leech Power. Okay, then let's take one object. The Menacing Step. This for Scathiel is the last guy that we have looked. After enemy fighters move action that ends adjacent at least to one other friendly fighter, push this fighter up to 2x. The push must end with this fighter adjacent to enemy fighter. So you push a guy adjacent to another fighter. It's quite curious, this one. Pinning shot. This fighter is considered to be a supporting fighter for adjacent fighter, friendly fighter. So you can support without being in combat. Just you have to be next to your friend. And then let's do this Cage of Thorns. It's 3x. It's a spell. It's a spell that is an object. So if this attack action succeeds, place a move token next to that target. So it's a way to block enemies from. This can be quite interesting. This is a spell that you can use. Okay, constant growth plus 1 wound. This is a need for this guy. So these guys will need life and will need some defense to survive. We have this object. It's 3, 2, 1. I don't think this is needed. I don't think what is the add value of this one. Gift Cliff. I'm very happy with this one. Let's look some of the objects. This one, for example, score this at the end of the phase if 3 or more enemy fighters are out of action. Okay, and they want to. This one, score this in the third end phase if no friendly fighters is out of action. So you have to survive with them all. It's quite a tricky one. Strike swiftly. Score this immediately if a friendly fighter takes an enemy fighter out of action with a charge action. This is quite interesting because you do this a lot. Domain denied. Score this at the end of the phase if no enemy fighters are holding objective. Okay, this can be also quite interesting. Let's look this one and then we go to the generic. Vengeful Revenant. Score this end of phase if at least one friendly fighter is out of action and at least twice as many enemy fighters as friendly fighters are out of action. So you have to have, if at the end of it, if at least one, so you have to have one of your guys kill at least one and a double of enemies. So this is going to be very situational. I don't like the ones that are very depending on the enemy one. Okay. Because of course if you fight Moloch you cannot score this one. Let's go to some generic cards. So these are the ones that are the generic ones from this box. So yeah, let's look just the first one. Discard an objective card and draw an objective card. This is very good. Okay, because it's giving you action for free. I think all the ones that give you action for free are quite good. Fading Form. This fighter treats lethal X as normal X and can move through block and occupied X but cannot end. This is very similar to other cards, okay? You convert him as ethereal. Roll 5 attack dice each time this attack action succeeds. If damage characteristic is equal to the number of hammers and quit roll. Let me repeat this one. So and you do is range 1 2 hammers, and the damage you do is depending on the whole hammers, and so it's 50-50. An average is going to be 2 or 3 damage, but if you're lucky you can do 5 damage. This is quite good, quite an interesting upgrade. This is a bow with range 4. Sorry for that. Here we are back. So this is quite interesting, a bow with range 4. Let's look at one quick learner reaction. After enemy fighters attack action or another warband gambit that damage this fighter but does not take them out of action, draw a power card. This is for the troll. I think this is for the troll. This is very interesting for the troll, for the Moloch attack. A Scroll of Recall. After this fighter gambit's spell is resolved, discard this card and roll a magic dice. On a roll of this symbol, I don't remember this one, it's the lightning I think, not the swirling, the other one. Place the Gambit spell on top of your power deck instead on your power discard pile. So discard this Fighter's Gambit spell. So this, after this Fighter's Gambit spell is resolved, discard this card and roll a magic dice. On if you roll the good thing, place the Gambit spell, so you can recover a spell. This can be interesting for the Ancient Warband or something like that if you use a lot of spells. Okay, let's go to the objectives to see what objectives they have. Score this and to phase if your warband made a move action in 4 or more activations in preceding phase. This is quite easy because I think this is is an easy peasy one. Charge is also a move action. Score this at the end of the phase if a friendly fighter made an attack action in the preceding action phase printed on a grade that you played in the same phase. So score, okay, so you have to do an attack with one of your new weapons, okay? This is not impossible, not impossible, okay? No, not that difficult. Score this at the end of the phase if your warband successfully cast 4 or more spells in the preceding phase. This, you can't forget about this one. This is not going to happen. Score this immediately if you roll 3 or more dice in an attack or defense roll and they are show the same symbol. Yeah, this is quite a difficult one, okay? The fates are not that easy because you need at least 3 dice, right? And you score this immediately, but you have to roll 3 or more dice and they all show the same symbol, so you have to roll 3. And I don't think this is going to happen. There's one with score this at the end of the phase if all surviving friendly fighters, at least 3, have at least 1 Cataphrene Tome. This is quite interesting. This is quite interesting for a Cataphrene. United. Score this at the end of the phase if all your surviving friendly fighters, at least 2, only 2, are in a single group with each fighter adjacent to at least one other, and so they have to be surviving and are in a single group where all are when they are touching to each other. And score this at in the third end phase if they are not fighters out of action. I don't think this is going to happen either. So yeah, it's very difficult that you finish with no fighters out of action. So these are all the cards, okay? I will not show them all, but these are some views. And now what I'm going to do is I will assemble these guys and I will show you how they look like when they are assembled. So here we have them all assembled. Okay, we have to be careful because they are quite fragile, so you have to be careful when you are assembling them. There are some very parts that can be quite, you have to take care. Okay, they are quite nice. I like a lot the pose of the archer. It's really nice pose. This is the guy with the axe. Okay, more static, but also quite. These two are quite static. Okay, so just like I'm posing, and this is and I think this is a woman of male of the 3 men. I don't know if the 3 men or if Ivy or Ivy. So can you see that there is no? So yeah, quite nice. They are quite thin and thin details. Be very careful with these branches here. These are very easy to break. We have another one around here that it was attached. But all in all, if you follow the instructions, they are easy to assemble, and they are, I think they are nice, pretty miniatures. So that's all for that. Okay, this is all for the Ylthari's Guardians. Okay, this is the last warband that for Nightbolt. Let's see what's coming next, if there will be a new session, and if they will introduce even more rules. So, but so far, that's all for now. I expect to put them in the battle soon, on the battlefield. And as usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.